I'll hand over to the Secretary, Mr.
Place at a time when the world is facing serious challenges. The global economy is slowing. The World Bank last week cut its projection of global economic growth to 2.5%. The latest statistics suggest that even China appears to be slowing. Some people even talk of global meltdown if the ongoing Eurozone crisis is not contained soon. The continued social upheaval in some countries in the Middle East and the geopolitical tensions in that region are weighing down on the global scene. The Arab Spring, which started early last year, has continued to shape the world economy for nearly 1 year now. Bad and unpredictable weather continue to wreak havoc on Kenya and the Horn of Africa. Last year, we suffered from the worst drought in 60 years. Unfortunately, dry spells appears to be upon us once again in the upcoming long rain season. I want you, the next, to help Kenya defy these negative global trends. With your wise counsel and the resilience of our private sector, I am confident that Kenya's economy can grow at least by 5.2% this year. Together, let us make sure that the cost of living will come down substantially. Unga, and that is the maize flour, continues to remain beyond the reach of many, many Kenyans because its price is far too high. The high costs and erratic supply of energy are making it very difficult for our industries to compete. I understand that interest rates had to be raised to stabilize the shilling, but the rates should not be allowed to stay at the current high levels for far too long. It remains a matter of great concern that the leading rates rose very sharply, while the rates the banks pay to their customers for their savings did not increase as much. So we continue to have such a wide spread between the lending rates and the deposit rates. This means that banks are making even more profits while savers earn less. Something has to be done, because in spite of these difficulties, banks are the only sector of our economy who continue to make heavy profits in spite of the problems that the economy is experiencing. And of course, jobs must be created particularly for our youth. I challenge the Council to provide the citizens of Kenya with practical solutions. I urge the Council to contribute to the ambitious transformation of our country, notably to a truly democratic and equitable society. This includes, importantly, the implementation of the devolved structures of government. The Council should also continue to focus on the transformation of our economy to a middle-income country through the implementation of Vision 2030. A large proportion of the businesses in Kenya is small and often suffers from lack of adequate working capital. This is aggravated by insufficient collateral, which denies those businesses access to bank loans. Whenever they go to financial institutions, there's demand for a collateral for getting to loans. So it is a question of chicken and eggs. I'm shocked to learn that only 88 $1.5 million of credit guarantees are available to small businesses in Kenya. A majority of it is provided by development partners. This is obviously inadequate. I urge the Council to recommend how credit guarantees schemes should be strengthened to better assist small businesses. The recommendation should also cover sovereign guarantees that are required by investors for energy, transport, and other large-scale infrastructure projects. Our country is poised for watershed elections. It will be the first election under the new constitution and the first to be held after the failed one in 2007. These elections will test our institutions. They will test our nation's commitment to the ideals of democracy and the sanctity of the ballot. They will test our ability to learn from our past mistakes. We have a task to help restore confidence in our country. We have a task to assure those watching us, and make no mistake, the whole world is watching us. We have to reassure the world and our citizens that these elections will be free, fair, and transparent. At the moment, a number of investors are adopting a wait-and-see policy. They wait until after the elections to make a decision whether to go into Kenya or not. We have a responsibility to tell them the time to get into Kenya is now, because we are confident that a much more united and stronger Kenya is going to emerge out of these elections. We have to reassure everyone and ensure that the elections will be held in an atmosphere that meets the best international standards, that they will take place in an atmosphere free of intimidation, blackmail, victimization, and ethnic mobilization. We must and we shall use the coming elections to show that we are marching forward sadder but wiser. As a government, we are committed to holding such ideal elections. We are also confident that our new and vibrant institutions are gearing up for this role. They look equal to the task, ready to stand up for the nation. Let us all do our part, then together we shall rise again.